Welcome back. Today I want to talk to you guys about a watch or a smartwatch that was sent to me for review. It's called the S3. It's made by a company called N0.1. Last year I did a review for a device that they sent to me directly on XDA for a ruggedized phone, but this year we're going to be looking at the N0.1 S3. This is the N0.1 S3. This watch was sent to me for review. The first thing we're going to do here real quick, we'll go back on the back of the box itself. I want to show you guys some of the specifications that we have in it. It is a circular type of watch. The diameter is 1.22 inches. It is an MTK powered watch, so it's running a MediaTek processor. It supports iOS and Android, Bluetooth 4.0. It has a nanometer tempered glass for the actual protector. It does have heart rate monitoring because of the sensor, and I'll show you guys in a second. One of the main benefits here, it does support SIM cards. Now, it supports one micro SIM card, which essentially is slightly bigger than the Nano, which is one of most of the common ones now, but definitely with an adapter we'll be able to make it work. And of course, it just shows us that basically it's 54 by 42.5 inches by 13 millimeters thick. Let's go ahead and get into the box itself. And the first thing we'll greet it with is the actual watch itself. We'll just go ahead and put the sticker down there. The watch itself is the leather version of it. And they sent me the gold watch itself. You'll notice here it's the fake leather option here, and it really nice. One thing though I want to make sure that you guys are aware of, that once you actually start putting it next to another watch that I recently reviewed or I unboxed here on my channel, you'll notice there's a very big similarity between the two as far as aesthetics, the way they look, the placement of the button. Now, from one thing I can tell you is the feeling between the two is very different. We're talking definitely stainless steel here to almost a plastic metal. So you're definitely getting a different quality here, but we'll go ahead and focus mostly on the watch itself. The main reason this watch is very appealing is the fact of the price point and the feature set that it comes with, but it also supports a SIM card, so you're actually able to use this as a phone. So we'll put the watch real quick on the side, just so quickly, and on the top box we have the ability to basically charge it. This is a non-magnetic charging dock. It aligns directly with the actual clip at the bottom. You sign them up directly one by one. Well, actually, we'll put that in right there. And it actually connects by clicking directly into the watch itself. So you don't have to worry about magnetic. It only aligns and it only fits one way. And once it fits, you're able to charge your watch itself directly using a micro USB standard cable. They do provide us one in the box itself here. I'm going to remove this for now because we're not going to be charging it. I did put in some juice in it. And the last thing we have here is a small instruction booklet giving us the instructions on how to download the application that we need to be able to actually pair this device to. The other thing is also the UI does give us that information. So now we have a little bit of a closer look on the watch itself. Again, as I mentioned, it's a fake leather strap. It has some sensors in the back as far as the heart rate sensor down here. It's not actually in the unit itself because we have the ability of accessing this. Other than that, it has the rose gold coloring on it. There's a little bit of a flat tire at the bottom here. I'm not sure if you guys could see it. I think this is a little bit better right there. You can see it right there. That's actually pretty much the sensors that it uses for the additional features that it has built in. To open it up, it's actually pretty simple. There's an unlock and lock figure here. You just twist. And once you hear the click, you're able to basically remove it. The main benefit of this, of course, is that this kind of has the remnants of a smartwatch or a smartphone that you have the ability of changing things in. It has a built-in speaker here that's on the top. It has an opening for it there. The connector's on the right, and you have a removable battery, which is also very nice. They don't provide us an additional battery, but it is removable, so in case you ever need a new one, you can always contact them and get one. It has a built-in micro SD card slot and a SIM card on the back, making this watch truly a standalone and gives it the ability to be able to basically function on its own. Putting it back together is very simple. You align the dots on the right, and then you just click it. And once you see 4 dots on the right, it's pretty much done. We'll go back to the watch itself. We're going to go ahead and boot it up. Now, I'm just going to be giving you guys a heads up warning. This is going to sound very familiar. It's not going to look familiar. It's going to sound familiar. So I'm not actually going to address that part, but other than that, it actually looks pretty good. The main benefits, of course, here you'll notice is we have some radios on the top, and we'll talk about those in a second. It's trying to connect directly to my smartphone. Even though it has a SIM card built into it, it still wants to be connected to receive notifications from a device. And I'll go ahead and turn it back on. You'll notice here there is a 3-bar signal here for the actual watch GSM connection. You'll have the ability to hear Bluetooth, so anytime you play music on your device, unless you set it up differently, it will automatically play music on this unit itself using the built-in speaker. It is connected via Bluetooth and it gives you the battery life. Changing the watch faces on it is no different than any of the other watches that you've seen on the market. You just basically swipe till you get to the watch that you like. I personally like that one. They have some other ones, and then you click OK to get them set. You do have, unfortunately, that big flat tire on the bottom, but again, I think the set of benefits that you get from it, you kind of oversee or overlook the main disadvantage of the flat tire there. This is definitely not a Moto 360 size flat tire, but it looks really nice. Other thing here is once you have this clock watch set, you have the ability of swiping to the right. These are the main applications. You do have a built-in dialer, a fully functional dialer that you're able to make calls. So let's say I want to do 411 and I want to dial. It's going to ask me if I want to dial directly from my Nexus 6 or local. I'll say local. Now, as you saw, I was able to make a phone call. The speaker sound is really good. Unfortunately, the reception in where I am right now for AT&T is not the best, but it does work really well. We have the ability of sending and receiving text messages. When clicked, we have the option going into a new message. And again, it gives us the same option. As I want to send it, it sends it either directly from the unit itself or directly from the system. You do have access to basically a T9 style keyboard. Not the most functional one, but it does do the job. Phone book syncs directly with your phone. Call logs similarly. You have Bluetooth connection, which is what you have. The app download is what you would use to be able to use the QR code here to sync it directly to your phone. Let's go ahead and click one more time. It gives us access to the QR code, and then you'll be able to basically download it directly from your device. And it's an MTK connection for the smartwatch. Notification just goes back to your notifications. We have settings, which is normal for, again, setting the BT setup, the clocks, the sound, the display, the resetting the option about magic voice, display, all of those things. Obviously, you can set the brightness. Everything is presettable here. Also, just as a heads up, swiping from the right back is kind of like your going back button. We have a voice recorder, BT music for Bluetooth music directly from our phone. You can play music directly on your device using here and controlling it. BT camera works the same way. Once you have the MTK application installed, this will work. Themes gives you the ability just to customize some options here. We have a calculator, an alarm, a calendar, of course, and stopwatch. Last but not least, we have a pedometer, heart rate monitor, sleep monitor, as well as, well, they call it Serenity, but essentially it's just a do not disturb mode. Short version, obviously, here we have the find your device, motion, and of course the vibrator. Basically, the vibrator option just turns on vibration for it. UV sensor just uses the front-facing sensors to give you that. You have video player, image viewer, as well as power saving mode and file manager. And then we'll go back here. There's one app I was able to download and install, which is the Yahoo Weather. This one only works if your internet on your phone is connected, not on the device. Mind you, also, this device, even though it has network connections using the GSM signal, it does not have internet access. So it's not running directly on there. Last but not least, we're going to go back. We'll go back here. I was going to show you guys here, we do have a fully functional file manager that gives us the access to be able to go to the watch memory or directly into our memory card, which I have already installed. And I'm just going to go here. Let's go into Android and let's see an image. I just want to show you guys that it will display images on this device. And then you're able to basically swipe. If you swipe back, it goes back. Swipe back one more time. It's basically your back button swiping. And then you can go back to the image viewer. Mostly what I could say is if you're using it in slave mode, it would work for almost an entire day. And when you have GSM in it, it actually has pretty good connection. You just have to remember to turn off Bluetooth, otherwise it keeps looking. Real quick, I want to show you guys the actual application itself directly on the device. Once you install it, this is called the Fundu Smart Device. It connects directly to the MTK watch. I've renamed it to say TK's S3. You can use it to find it. You can also use it to install the applications. As I stated, there's only one app that I was able to install and a watch face. Both functional, but unfortunately at this point there's no facer support or anything like that. SOS call notifications, you're able to basically customize what applications on your system can push notifications. You have from system, they're basically sectioned off by system and personal apps, and you can customize them directly. You can also disable it once the notification comes directly on the watch itself. Alerts, of course, you can receive here, put it in. Scanning. Change name, this is where you would need to rename the watch, and of course about is where you'll be able to check to see if there's any new firmware. and you can click that. It'll try to find that, and if there is any firmware availability, it will push it directly into the watch and update it itself. Other than that, it's pretty simple from a sense of an application. It does sit in your notification panel. If you don't want to, you can just definitely just hold it within Lollipop at least, and some of the exposed modules will allow you to just hide this notification if you don't want to see it. Otherwise, it gives you the information as far as how much battery you have left on the watch, and again, that it's connected. As you guys saw with the hands-on, it looks nice. From the sense of feeling, it's not as heavy as what you would expect from a Huawei watch with a stainless steel band. It's lighter than that, but it does feel like a regular, what you would expect on the watch itself. It's not super thick that it would stand out too much. Again, a lot of these watches that we get to see, we see them initially by themselves and they say, oh my God, this is so thick. But then you put it on your wrist and you use it, it doesn't really stand out as much as you think it would. I was able to get about a day's worth of usage on it, down to about 30% battery when I had it in slave mode to my Nexus 6. And when I ran it by itself, it went a little bit longer, but roughly about the same performance. As long as I turned off Bluetooth, it stops scanning and it works much better. Notifications on the watch itself are going to be mostly just directly text messages if you don't have it connected to your phone. If you have it connected to your phone, any push notification that comes into your notification panel will pop up in here, and you're able to customize it, as I showed you guys, under notifications within the app, what you want to show and what you don't. And you can also control it directly from the watch by choosing the option to say block, and it disables that function within the device. Overall, it's very nice, about $65 on their website. I'll give you guys a link in the description below. I think it's a great deal for the feature set that it does provide us. Again, the fact that you can make and receive calls straight from it. It's something that if you need, this is going to fulfill that. A lot of the new smartwatches coming out on the market will provide you a version that does support the GSM, but you have to buy that from a carrier. You have to pay the additional $50 premium that usually they will add on top of it because it is their version that is supposedly supporting their bands. But because it doesn't have internet access on it, all it has is basically GSM, text messaging, and GSM calls. Basically, you don't really have any problems there. So it solves the problem there. But again, if you do need internet access and other functionalities from ones that the carriers provide, please go ahead and pay the additional 50 bucks there. Other than that, I want to say again, thanks to N0.1 for sending me this unit for review. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Definitely an interesting watch, gives some features, not exactly as compatible or as at the same level as Android Wear or even Tizen on the Gear S watch itself. So it's something that you want to keep in mind. And again, for the price, you can't beat it. So like and subscribe as usual. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I will see you guys next time.